role as an employee, they're more of an agent, or, as it suggests. Okay, so for this super sales agent, we're going to actually leave that ticked so that we'll get a supplier account created. So we'll click finish, and then that'll again show us the sales rep option here. And in the setup tab, this is where we've got the commissions, etc., and we can change them later. And this is where it knows about the whether it creates a bill for the commission or not. Okay, so I need to create another sales rep, so this time I click save and new, so it launches the wizard again basically on the top of the other one, and this time we're just going to have sales rep 1 as the name. Okay, and go next on that. Now this is going to be 5%, and we're going to base his commission on profit, so we change that to profit. And for this one, because we're going to pay this through our payroll, we're going to untick that box there. Okay, and then we're going to finish, save and close to come out of that, and this is our previous sales rep form, or is it even it's a blank because I did save and new. If I go into find sales rep, I'll see that I've got both my agent and my rep sitting there, and I can go back into them like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I need to assign one of these sales reps, or I could assign, you know, either to some accounts, to my customer accounts. So to do that, I've got to go back into find customer, and I've got my 3 that I created. We also have a default e-commerce shopper, but that gets created for you as standard in the database. It's just basically again for the web. It's the customer it uses if you're not logged in as anyone. Okay, so what I want to go and do in here is go and amend all of these customers and put the super sales agent on each of the customers. Now we do that in the setup tab of a customer, and down the bottom here we've got sales rep group, and basically we're going to select super sales agent. So I'm going to save and close. It asked me on the way out there if I wanted to update all the ship tos with the change. So if we've got multiple ship tos for this customer, do we want to update them all, which I do, to put them all so that if he sells to anyone on them ship tos as well, he'll still get the commission. And I get asked that when I amend all of these basically. So super sales agent again, save and close. Yes, I want to save, and last one, update all the ship tos. Yes. Okay, so now when I go and process an order for any of these customers, then my super sales agent would get the commission off them all. Okay, we're now going to enter some opening balance transactions against the customers that I've just manually created. So to do that, we're going to go back down to the setup part down here, and it's the first option in the setup, opening balance. Okay, and I want A-Toy Customer UK to be on my first line. Okay, and then opening invoice. The document code I'm going to put in is inv-01. You notice it puts OBC in front of that so that we know it's an opening balance transaction basically. And then the date is going to be the 1st of the 11th. Now what I should have really done before I started doing this is set my date back to be a date in November or December last year, so that I don't put any in with the current date, because it's quite easy to make a mistake like that. So I'm going to have to keep changing it back on mine now. But if I was to change my system date, which is done by changing it on the double-clicking the clock in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and then changing the system date through there, then it saves you possibly entering a transaction into the wrong period or the wrong date. Okay, so we're having verbal for F1, and the total is going to be £100 on this first one. The terms default from the customer record, Okay, so if I want to put another line in that's pretty much identical to that, except for one or two changes, I can use the copy button. Now it says down here in the bottom right hand corner of this window, F6 to copy selected row. So what I'm going to do is basically hit the F6 button, and that'll copy that down for me. So then all I need to do is ring the changes, as it were. So this is going to be inv-002. Okay, again it puts the OBC in front of it, and this is going to be dated the 7th of November rather than the 1st of November. It's still going to be a verbal, and this time it's going to be £200. Okay, now the third line is going to be a credit line, so I'm just going to key that in manually. So I'm going to change the type here from opening invoice to opening credit. Okay, this is going to be SC-001 for my document code, and the date on this is going to be the 7th of the 12th the 1st of the 12th 2007. So let's change that to be 1st of the 12th. Reference 1 and 2 are both blank on this one, and this is just going to be a £50 credit. Okay, the next one's going to be for our French customer. Again, it's an invoice. This is going to be INV-003. And this is going to be for the 14th of the 12th. This time it's got a reference 1 of 123. And you can see before I get to the total there, just something quite interesting is that it's got a red cross next to the value. And that's because it's saying that I need to enter something into that field. And until I actually get to that field and put something in, it's not actually going to get rid of that cross, and it basically says there the total needs to be between 1 and 99999. So it's basically just saying what exactly the problem is with that field. If you hover over the crosses, it will tell you what it's expecting there. So this is going to be for 1,000, and this is going to be euros because obviously it's our French customer. That again is defaulting from the customer record itself. Okay, and the last one is the US customer, so again a US customer. Again it's an invoice, it's going to be INV-004. The date on this is going to be the 1st of the 12th 2007. Okay, and it's going to have a reference to 234 and a value of $2,000. Okay, so now that I've keyed all them in, then I can hit the save key, which will post all these straight into the ledger, straight into the nominal. They're going to go straight in there basically. It's going to create the journals and everything for us, so the journal postings will all be there. So if I then want to see what I've done so far, we've got a history tab, and I can then look back onto the history tab to see